You seem uncomfortable. Do I make you nervous, Corky?
No.
Thirsty, maybe.
Curious, maybe.
That's funny. I'm feeling a little bit curious myself.
You're afraid to dive into the plasma pool, aren't you? You're afraid to be destroyed and recreated, aren't you? I'll bet you think you woke me up about the flesh, don't you? But you only know society's straight line about the flesh. You can't penetrate beyond society's sick, gray fear of the flesh. Drink deep, or taste not the podcast spring.
Welcome to Pleasers.
And Punishers.
Where we talk about movies people love to watch.
Movies that ruin your today, tomorrow, and yesterday.
And all things kinky and queer.
I'm Caitlin of the North.
I'm May. Fuck is what I'm thinking, Schultz.
And I'm a human fly. I say buzz, buzz,
Buzz, buzz, buzz.
I'm Amanda Jane Stern. I can't not. I love that song so much.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan of the Cramps.
Maeve is a huge Cramps fan. We have the 7-inch with glow-in-the-dark cover in a frame in our living room. And we have UV lights in there, so it always glows.
I was part of a Cramps cover drag group.
Wait, does that mean
Videos?
you were Lux?
Videos?
No.
Are there videos?
There might be videos, actually. There's definitely some pictures around. Yeah. We had a really fun time. We would pick a couple songs that were inspired by the Cramps and then a couple of Cramps songs. We had go-go dancers.
Yes.
Which, so if you forgot your words, is really easy to be like, but look at what I'm looking at right now.
Queen of Pain. Perfect.
Oh, good.
Well, Caitlin, after that tangent, what are we talking about today?
Well, we are discussing, is that your power surging, or are you just happy to see me? As we wrap up Animalistic April with The Fly from 1986, directed by David. Directed by...
Sorry, I just got a text in all caps from Maeve that says, I hear Cramps discussion.
Hi, Dave.
Yeah. Well, David Cronenberg directed this movie. Woo! It was co-written by Cronenberg and Charles Edward Pogue, starring Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis, and John Getz. Music by, unsurprisingly, Howard Shore. And it feels like this must be said because I totally forgot about it. I forget about it every time, but one of the producers was Mel Brooks.
Yep.
Yeah, he was really on a roll producing some interesting stuff in the 80s. This Elephant Man, the David Lynch film. It's really nice to know that he has always been so invested in all types of film, not just comedies and satires.
But he always took his name off these so that people wouldn't go in expecting it to be a Mel Brooks kind of film. He's just like, no, I just support these movies and want to see them get made.
Yeah. Well, before we get into it, tell me, would you let David Cronenberg be your gynecologist?
This is so unfair because I went back through, because Cronenberg has been a blind spot of mine. I just started to watch all of his 80s movies right after this, but I'm up to Dead Ringers, and I did not have time to watch Dead Ringers, and I feel like that would be very pertinent to this discussion.
Yeah, true. But he actually plays a gynecologist in this.
Oh, that is... I was like, what a wild thing to ask right now.
Yeah, he's the gynecologist at the abortion clinic.
That is so funny.
Also, hot take, I don't like Dead Ringers.
Ooh.
I like Jeremy Irons, but I don't like Dead Ringers, and I think Genevieve Bujold sucks in that movie. I do not like her performance, and I really don't like her character. This has been Hot Takes with May.
I'm just thinking deeply about if I would let David Cronenberg near my vagina with medical implements.
No. Absolutely not. Because I just watched Videodrome.
Yes?
I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a pussy, I'd let him.
I'm going to go with yes. David Cronenberg, come out my vagina.
Yeah, look, David Cronenberg is a weird Canadian freak who knows his way around people's junk, and I'd be fine with it.
But see, now I'm thinking, but gynecologist, like, you don't want your gynecologist doing things to you, but also, like, would I let David Cronenberg...
Oh, like, would you just let David Cronenberg fuck you?
Yes.
Or
Right.
yeah.
Versus,
yes.
like, poke at you with things.
Like, going
again.
to the gynecologist is deeply unfun.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched James Woods, chest fuck himself with a gun, and I'm like, no, I would not.
I'm very excited to talk to you about Videodrome and see what you thought of that. But speaking of gynecologists, let's get into some role play.
Is that your bathing suit? Is that your overbite?
Now, one of you will be the drowning victim, and the other one gets to be our lifesaver.
I'll be the victim all your life.
Look, there's a lot of porn where people go to the gynecologist and
yes.
I'm sure.
And you know what? Sometimes it's kind of hot. I do not approve of that practice in real life. That is a serious violation of boundaries and doctor-patient relationship. But in porn,
I understand it.
If it's yes, if it is all because it's a
if it is
violation.
If it is a kink scenario you're playing at, okay, would I let David Cronenberg role play in a kinky scenario as my gynecologist? Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
Yes.
We did it. All right.
He could even have what's the scrapey tool, but the one that like spins.
Oh God. I'm so glad that they just have swabs now, because having those speculums, and this is like too much information.
The speculum.
But my cervix is really apparently very far back and over a hump.
Oh, no.
So I always have to tell them.
Has it made you bleed before? Because they're fucking horrible.
No, but I have to tell them they need to get the extra long speculum, because I've absolutely had them bring out the wrong sizes.
Oh, no.
And then it has happened repeatedly.
Yeah,
and
then they have to like put it in,
like,
take it out, then put the other one in.
It's scratchy. They scratch it
so
around in there. It's horrible. And you can hear it. You can hear it. It's like you can hear it scratching around as if
it like
someone's
vibrates through your body.
in like a cave, scratching at the walls.
Yep. So I get to tell whoever's working down there. My cervix is really far back and like over a hill. So it's like grandmother's house.
Welcome back to Vagina Talk with Pleasers and Punishers. I used to joke that if I ever did have bottom surgery, I would call my vagina the Cave of Wonders.
Yes.
Not the Cave of Forgotten Dreams.
No. Excuse me. It's the cave that grants dreams.
I like to call mine the allegory of the cave.
Oh my God.
Novel, and every time I describe vagina, I just use different cave analogies. I can do it.
I need to say this real quick. I love our show so much, and listeners, thank you for being part of this with us. We are truly ridiculous human beings, and it means a lot that you listen to us act like ridiculous human beings. I hope that you giggle along with us when you're listening.
We're all really tired today.
Yes, that is also true. Okay, so The Fly. At some sort of party for science-y people, Dr. Seth Brundle invites science reporter Veronica Quaife back to his lab to see what he's working on. Something that will change the world. Sorry, I can't really do Jeff Goldblum.
I can't either.
I just love how this movie is like, you're going to start in the middle of the movie and we're just going to go.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yes.
When I first watched it, it threw me off. But on this watch, I was like, oh no, I love this. It's so expeditious. It does not waste time. It knows exactly what it's doing. So, They arrive at his lab/home in the warehouse district where he plays the piano. And yes, this is Jeff Goldblum actually playing, and shows off his telepods and the computer that controls them. He demonstrates their ability to transfer matter from one to the other by disintegrating and reintegrating one of Veronica's stockings.
This is a very sterile environment, conducive to experiments.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Totally clean lab environment.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Nothing against code. But also, here's my thing. If you had these telepod devices, who needs to teleport living creatures? The ability to just transport inanimate objects that's insane. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's incredible. Mm-hmm. I think his main, well, not his main, but one of his drives is when they're on their way there, he talks about how motion sick he gets in any kind of moving vehicle. So I think for him, it solves that tertiary problem of like, oh, I need to get from here to here, and I don't want to feel barfy when I get there. I'll just telepod. Also, Jeff Goldblum and Geena Davis both at peak hotness here, other than Geena Davis in Long Kiss Goodnight, which is her other peak hotness movie.
I mean, they're just gorgeous, tall people. This movie is so tall.
When she takes off that stocking, I'm just like,
yeah, that moment is extremely hot. Mm-hmm. And then how she just kind of like lifts her skirt up. It's like, you all know what you're doing.
Yes.
Kind of.
Seth discovers that Veronica has been recording their conversation and kicks her out because this was meant to be personal, not for reporting. Mm-hmm. She shows the tape to her boss, Stathis Borans.
I just wanted to call him Stannis Baratheon the entire time.
I know.
I don't know who that is.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They should have known.
Yeah.
Cronenberg really has a penchant for ridiculous names, but once you're like, you know what? These are the names people have in Cronenberg's world. It's fine. So Stathis Borans, who thinks this is all bullshit, and then Seth shows up at the office. He and Veronica go out for cheeseburgers. And he begs, we all did the hand motion, everybody.
Maybe we should be video, because we all just did the hand motion.
It's true. And he begs her not to publish the info about his project because it's not ready yet. He can only teleport inanimate objects. He convinces Veronica that he should be her main project and that she should write a book about what he's doing.
That's going to be some book. Sorry.
Yeah.
It goes in the ending. Some book.
Mm-hmm. Veronica arrives home to find Stathis in her shower, who still has a key from when they were dating, which he refuses to give back. What the fuck, dude? This is fucked up. This guy is an asshole, and we'll find out more about that later.
Oh, he is quite the asshole, yes. Mm-hmm.
At Brundle's lab, no, that feels weird to call him Brundle. At Seth's lab, Veronica uses a Betamax camera to film a teleportation experiment that turns a baboon inside out because the system doesn't know what to do with flesh.
Okay, movie crossover. The Fly in Hellraiser.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it would be. I'm just putting it out there.
No, I like that.
Thank you.
Maybe if you put Frank in the telepod, it would give him skin back or something. Oh, no. You put Frank in the telepod when he's wearing Larry's skin, and then it actually fuses to him and becomes part of him.
Oh, my God. You solved it.
Thank you.
And there it is.
I've almost changed my handle on Letterboxd to become to daddy so many times.
After discovering that he has the wardrobe of a cartoon character, Veronica and Seth bone, and he ends up with an injury on his back from a circuit board component. How the fuck did that get on his couch bed? And how did he... I just...
It's so sterile. Very conducive to experimentation.
So clean. Such a lab. What a good lab environment.
This is his control subject.
He teleports a portion of the steak that Veronica brought, then cooks up both parts. The teleported portion tastes quote-unquote synthetic because the computer is simply giving its interpretation of a steak. Veronica goes out to buy a cool leather jacket, and Stathis follows her,
fucking
freaking out about her sleeping with Seth. This dude is her ex, and he is flipping his shit in a public place because she's having sex with someone else. The next baboon experiment works properly, and Veronica suggests they take a holiday together like an old married couple. She then confronts Stathis about his premature desire to publish the story about Seth, and Stathis tries to convince her they should still be fuck buddies, which she flatly rejects.
Yeah, no shit.
Seth gets drunk and misogynistic talking to the baboon, then works himself up to becoming a part of his own experiment.
He really should have listened to Ian Malcolm.
Yes.
Do we find out what happens to that baboon?
That one? No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Nothing.
All of a sudden, when you were talking, I was like, wait, where'd the baboon go, though?
Yeah, it gets
Scary,
sent
scary
off to a
ape.
lab for testing, and I don't know if we ever find out the result. I think that it probably is fine, but yeah. But wait, a fly ends up in the telepod with him. The injury on his back has now sprouted weird, thick black hairs, which Veronica takes a sample of to test, and he has also developed increased strength, stamina, and sexual potency. He's also a bit of a dick.
It's at this point in the movie where I started looking up the sex lives and mating practices of flies.
Interesting.
Wunderbar.
Seth tries to convince Veronica to go through the telepods, but she's sure that something went wrong, and he flat out rejects her. He ends up at a pool bar where he challenges a man named Marky to an arm wrestling match that results in Marky's hand nearly being broken off of his wrist. Seth brings home a woman named Tawny. Do I look like a hooker to you? I mean, honestly, Tawny, I'm sorry,
Yes.
but yeah.
Yes.
Carrying her up the stairs and having her watch him go through the telepods.
So sexy.
In the morning, he tries to force Tawny to do the same. It'll make you feel sexy.
I already feel sexy.
I do love that she says that.
Yeah.
It is cute. But Veronica shows up to tell him that his weird back hairs are insect hairs, and he summarily kicks her out. Seth's body continues to deteriorate, and he discovers that his DNA was combined with that of the fly during his initial transport. Veronica goes back to see him, and he's all gooey and lumpy and falling apart. After meeting with Stathis, who begs her not to go back, Veronica visits Seth again, who is now crawling on the ceiling and wall, looking even grosser, and referring to himself as Brundlefly. Veronica tells Stathis that she's pregnant with Seth's baby, and they go to get her an abortion from Dr. Cronenberg, and out comes a giant maggot. Blah. But wait, it's just a dream. Veronica visits the now elephant man-looking Brundlefly, and he waxes poetic about insect politics. Outside, he overhears Veronica and Stathis discussing her immediate need for an abortion.
Just a side note, when he opens the bathroom cabinet, did you notice his penis in the jar?
Yep.
Very Rasputin of him.
At the clinic, Brundlefly breaks through a glass block wall like Kool-Aid Man and brings Veronica up to the roof of the lab to beg her to have the baby. Stathis follows and assembles an old-timey shotgun. Brundlefly dissolves Stathis's left hand and right foot, and Veronica begs him not to kill Stathis. Brundlefly forces Veronica into one of the pods so they can combine into one happy family, all sharing one body, shedding the rest of his human flesh in the process. Stathis manages to free Veronica from her pod, and Brundlefly ends up fusing with the telepod itself. The mutant creature silently begs Veronica to kill it, and she reluctantly blows its head off with the shotgun, bringing the story to its conclusion.
Behold the Brundlefly in all its glory as it slurches slowly across the floor.
Before we go any further, I just have to say the effects in this movie are some of the best I have ever seen. Everything other than like the telepod dissolving stuff, which still looks fine, is practical. It is in-camera effects. There's puppets. There's prosthetic makeup. All of this. And it is just top-notch the whole fucking way through. And it's also so fucking gross.
I love it. I know we were talking, we were on our thread talking about what our squeamish stuff is.
For me, it was the nails.
That was Julian, too.
Yeah, the nails, and then when the stuff shoots out, that's really, I don't like that at all.
Weirdly, when he like barfs his, goo onto the donut to eat it, he tosses it and goes, that's disgusting. I'm like, yeah, but, whatever. That doesn't bother me that much. But pulling your nails off your fingers, blah.
I loved it. I love that level of gooey gore.
Okay, well, tell me all. If you could become hybridized through telepod technology, with what would you most like to merge? Or with whom?
It's a Together situation. Spoiler alert for Together, sorry.
I mean, it kind of gives itself away.
Yeah, I know we're not talking about that movie, but I would have been so much happier at the end if we did not see what happened and just knew that it happened, because it doesn't look good. Anyway.
I was going to say something, and then I was like, was that Fox Force 5? No.
Fox Force 5 is from Pulp Fiction.
I know. But remember Gargoyles?
Yes.
Anyone watch Gargoyles?
I do.
Remember when Elise Detective Mendoza's brother gets changed into the human cat winged hybrid thing? That'd be pretty dope.
Sweet.
I wouldn't mind that. Something like that.
Be a mermaid.
Yeah. Okay,
mermaid.
so
Here's
my question. What kind of fish would
That's
you merge
I'm thinking.
with?
An orca.
Ooh.
Oh.
So you'd be a killer mermaid, and you'd
I'd
be able
hunt
to
yachts.
destroy yachts.
Yes,
Yeah. Excellent.
Exactly. I would be able to seduce the men on the yachts and then kill them. And it'd be
Yes.
great.
Oh my God, I love that. So if you had asked me this question pre-transition, I obviously would have said, combine me with a woman. And I don't remember if I shared this with y'all, but I recently found out that there are boutique plastic surgeons who will leave a dick intact and use the scrotum to create a vaginal cavity. So you can actually have both a penis and a vagina.
Hey.
And honestly, that I would do. I think that would be kind of fun to have all the options.
More to play with.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. So that would have been my answer pre-transition. But now, I don't know, combine me with someone who doesn't have chronic fucking pain so that I don't have to be in pain every day. I mean, I used to be around like a 7 or 8 every day. Since I got less depressed and properly medicated, it's more like a 4 to 6 most days. But I have a higher pain tolerance than most people. So like my 4 to 6 is probably someone else's like 7 to 9. And I would like to not have to deal with that. I would like to wake up in the morning and not go, fuck. Sorry, that was kind of a depressing answer.
It was not as fun as one of the cat people from Gargoyles. I have to say.
Yeah. Once again, cat people.
Cat people.
Cat people got no reason.
Or a wolf. I'm going to just be running out there wild.
A woof.
A woof. A woof.
Oh my God, Buka just looked up from the couch when you said that word. That's so cute.
Wait, wolf. Oh yeah, his ears are perking up when I say wolf. Oh my God.
Okay, yeah, we officially need to switch to video. Okay, so tell me all, what was your first experience with this movie?
I feel like we all discussed this last time, but like this is only a second for all of us. So we all had, it was only like a couple years ago that I sat down to, because I, much like you, Caitlin, kind of came to Cronenberg later. My first Cronenberg was Shivers.
Oh, I love Shivers.
I do too. And then, but I'd watched it on a streaming service years and years and years ago, and then there was just nothing Cronenberg on anything streaming, and there weren't video stores anymore. So it was just kind of something I put to the side. So this isn't something I even came to until maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I got into Cronenberg a long time ago, but I was really slow going through his filmography. I didn't see Videodrome until a couple of years ago, and I hadn't watched The Fly until last August. And I was just like, holy shit, I am fucking blown away by this. I completely understand why people who aren't even normally Cronenberg fans gravitate toward this movie, because it really... There's a universality to this in terms of like disease and the decay of the body and all of these concerns that pretty much everyone has, that you can relate to this in some way. It's also really fucking gross. So, you know, it's definitely going to be a turnoff to some people. But yeah, like you said, this was a second watch for me for this episode, and I loved it even more. But my rating was already at a 5, so I couldn't go up any higher.
I first watched this, and I know because I looked at my last Letterboxd review, July 10th, 2023, which would have been a Monday. So it was, I knew it was for a Monday night quarantine fright film for the movie group I was in. And looking at it, I was like, wait, what was my first Cronenberg? And I was like, oh, I think it was M. Butterfly, and then I didn't watch another one until A History of Violence.
See, I haven't seen any of his dramas, and I don't really want to see M. Butterfly.
I've seen it on stage. I saw it on stage with
yeah.
Clive Owen. They're the
and it was the M. Butterfly version, not the regular Madam Butterfly version?
No, it was M. Butterfly.
Yeah,
the one about
David
the French
Henry,
man.
David Henry Quang.
He rewrote it. He readapted it for just with a more understanding of gender identity. But what's so interesting, and the actor playing the other character, I fully forget that character's name. They are non-binary.
Cool.
And it was really cool. But I remember I watched it, so then I went and read all of the actual history of the story. And here's the thing, that it's really close. It really is all of the like shock of it. And in real life, the Chinese guy, he is a man. He identifies as a man and was pretending to be a woman. And here's the thing, the French guy, I think his real name is Rene, he is gay. And so when you really start to unpack it, it's not that he really didn't know. It's that he was allowing himself to go along with this ruse to pretend that he was in a relationship with a woman.
And there's a lot about the demasculifying of Asian men and how that fits into gender. And so I had read the play first, which is then why I watched the movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I didn't see another one until A History of Violence because I didn't like body horror. It was gross. I wasn't
How far
as
you've
interested-
come.
I know. Yeah, it's very well. I mean, I also didn't used to like violence either, and I'm like Terrifier 2 is one of my favorites. Blah blah blah. You could cut that part out. What's another one? I don't know.
I know you're going to try and make us cover that movie one day, and I'm going to be like, you know what? You two can do that one without me.
Oh, it's
But it's
so,
like 2 hours long.
It's over 2 hours long. But there's also a musical. There's a dream
I don't think I've
musical
ever heard your
sequence.
voice go that low, Amanda.
It does when I'm upset.
I'm not gonna make anyone watch Terrifier 2. I'll watch it with someone else. But yeah, or like Australian horror movies are some of my favorite because they are bleak and violent and upsetting.
Hey, I mean, we covered The Loved Ones pretty early on.
Oh yes. I have another one potentially queued up for next year. But anyway. So I watched this Monday night quarantine fright film. Finally was at the point where I can watch said body horrors, though you're not as horrifying to me as they used to be. And I mean, my Letterboxd review is just watching a man disintegrating in real time from like multiple things.
Love it.
In more ways than one.
Love it.
But really, really enjoyed this. Jeff Goldblum was like the perfect person for this part.
Absolutely.
Gina Davis is amazing. The fact that there are only like 3 people and a monkey. I think I said ape earlier. I sometimes get baboons and bonobos mixed up in my head, which one is a ape, one is a monkey. Baboons are monkeys. They have tails.
I'm just imagining this as a stage play now.
There's an opera.
There's
There's
the
an
Fly opera.
of The Fly. Yes, there is.
Holy shit. Okay, well, tell us more about that in our next section. Faith and Chance.
I can't exist by myself because I'm afraid of myself. Because I'm the maker of my own evil. Goodness is only some kind of reflection upon evil. That's all it is.
Okay, what was happening in movies at this time? I see, Caitlin, you and I have kind of covered some of the same stuff, but it did also have to go into movies. But movies at the time, and I intentionally did not go with what was going on in the Canadian film industry, because while Cronenberg is Canadian, this movie is U.S. produced.
Was this his first U.S. produced movie?
This is, yeah, I was looking because I figured, okay, it's going to be a Canadian thing, but no, this is fully, he was brought on by U.S. producers, so obviously he's bringing his own stuff, but it really is a U.S. production, not Canadian. So I was looking more what was going on culturally in film in our country. Obviously you get Top Gun, Aliens, but also Reagan was the president and fucking shit up.
Boo! Rest in piss, bitch.
The AIDS crisis was raging. A lot of people view this movie as a metaphor for AIDS, and while Cronenberg himself has said it's not specifically for that, there's no way to not look at that, just given where we're coming from and the history we know. Of course, it was worse here in the US than Canada at that time, so that's why we'd have a different sort of cultural consciousness. But movies at the time were reflecting that fear, but for the most part not addressing it head on. So major motion pictures were absolutely not tackling the subject. And something that's really interesting to know about Hollywood and the major film industry is that it is so much more regressive than people think it is, and is always behind. We're behind the UK, generally behind Canada, and we're behind the television industry. TV movies of the week started tackling queer rights before major movies did. In 1972, TV movies started, whereas major Hollywood didn't until 82. And in fact, it's, I think, the same executive who was at ABC that was part of the team greenlighting the first TV movie to deal with a gay couple in a positive light, was then at Fox and was the executive who greenlit the first romance between 2 gay men that was not a tragedy. A decade later.
It's so funny because both of those movies have come up before.
I have definitely brought them up, yes.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, major motion studios were not dealing with it. TV movies like an early Frost tackled it head on, as well as indie films, Buddies, and a personal favorite of mine, also Steve Buscemi's first leading role, Parting Glances, from, I believe, 1986.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a great movie. We're absolutely taking the subject head on, but in bigger projects, it would be more metaphoric.
Oh, and that would be me. Yeah, so interestingly enough,
listeners, just an FYI, Caitlin is still recovering from surgery.
Well, and also I feel like either the upstairs neighbor or someone just moved something and like my entire wall shook, and I was just like, what is happening?
Caitlin's maybe a little loopy too.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
also.
I watched Undertone last night, and we are podcasting right now, so maybe there's, a demon coming to kill your baby for you, or make you kill your baby.
While I was watching that, I have a real easy way to fix this problem.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Is it called Don't Have a Baby?
Sorry, Amanda. Sorry if that was spoilers. That movie kind of sucked.
There is a documentary called Long Live the New Flesh, the films of David Cronenberg, and this was put out in 1987. So this was right after he did The Fly, and I was like, oh, yes. It's interesting because the other talking heads in this are Stephen King and Martin Scorsese. Scorsese. Which apparently means Scotsman.
That's why you were texting us about Scorsese. Cool.
Yes.
So wait, Martin Scorsese, who is Italian, his name means Scotsman.
Mm-hmm. In Italian, apparently he does claim to have someone paternally at one point from Shetland. So yes, I've found that incredibly interesting, but it has nothing to do with all of this. There's also a film critic, Robin Wood, which I was like, that sounds familiar, but am I thinking of the principal from Buffy? On the 7th season. That is exactly what I think I'm thinking
goddamn
of.
Hot.
Oh, yeah. Jesus. And then...
that principal. Yeah, that man is hot.
Yeah, and then he's on Lucifer.
I was like, I'm sorry, the principal from Buffy,
no,
the
not
next
Armin
one.
Shimmerman.
The next one.
Yes.
Yes, he is on Lucifer. He's an angel on Lucifer.
Mm-hmm. And he's also hot on that.
Yes, a lot of people on that show are very hot. I don't love that show, Lucifer. It didn't fully... Also,
It's fun.
I wish Lucifer were more overtly bisexual. Do it. Show me. Show me. I need to see. Do not tell me. Show me.
I love Dr. Linda, though. She's my favorite character.
She's the best. Yes.
Anyway.
Robin Wood did not appreciate Cronenberg. It was a very interesting perspective to have on this documentary, because also sometimes Cronenberg will directly reference. He's like, well, Robin Wood doesn't like this, but blah, blah, blah. And then also they talked to the heads of the MPAA at the time, the Film Censorship Board in the UK, and maybe
Fuckheads.
And then the also Canadian, I think, whoever is kind of that person in Canada. I was really
They just have one person.
I was just so interested in what was different between what the guy who was heading up the MPAA was saying than even the people who came after him, but also how different it was than the UK, because the UK was censoring movies, and the guy from the MPAA was like, we're not here to censor, we're just here to tell people what to expect, and then they can make up their own minds. And I'm like,
they're more like
that
guidelines.
Went out of the picture at some point, but anyway.
I just covered Censor on Nightlight with Prince, and so I looked into a lot of the video nasty stuff and the BBFC, because that's what the movie is about. So
yes.
So if you haven't listened to that, go listen to it or watch it. You can see my cute face.
I thought you meant watch the movie.
Tenebrae is the video nasty.
Yeah, we talked about that.
That's what I was like, what was talking about Tenebrae being? It was YouTube before I tried.
Hell yeah. It's on YouTube, and it's the only place you can find it. It's directed by Lawrence C. Postman.
Always rings twice.
Right. This is so fun to go from that to these quotes from Cronenberg, kind of about where he was at the time mentally. And I mean, I think this just continues throughout his work, where he's talking about these quotes where he's like, you carry the seeds of your own destruction within you always, and that they can erupt at any time is a little scarier because there's no defense against it, no escape from it. He talks a lot about this man. I also watched this short, 20-minute thing from Vice, which is better than it used to be because, they kicked out the Proud Boys. But John Carpenter was on it.
Ooh.
And John Carpenter at one point is just like, he used to direct horror movies. Now he's an artist. He directs art movies. I find this all very humorous. I'm like, you grumpy old bitch. I love that.
Sassy cunt.
So sassy. Yes. Yes. It's like, well, he doesn't direct horror movies anymore. I'm like, oh my goodness, you. But Gina Davis is in it, Patricia Arquette, and a few other people. It's like 20 minutes worth a watch.
Wait, was Patricia Arquette ever in a Cronenberg movie?
Crash.
That's Rosanna.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Yep, Rosanna Arquette.
The car movie
Rosanna
Crash,
Arquette.
not the other one.
No, not the piece of shit Crash.
I once got a sign. I used to write for a media company, and I was assigned to write about Crash. So I was like, oh, yes, Crash.
The we're gonna solve racism one?
Well, I thought, because it was a very sex-forward company, I thought it was the Cronenberg. So I wrote a whole article about Cronenberg and kink. And then they're like, no, we meant the other one.
So did they not publish your piece?
I don't recall. I don't think so. I did end up writing something about the shitty Crash and blah, blah, blah. But I was much happier with my piece about the kinky Crash.
It's a much better movie on many levels. I suggest you watch one of those, and it is definitely the one you suspect. So we have also, it goes kind of to the duality of mind and body. Whether the mind aspect is expressed as soul or spirit or whatever, but it's still the old Cartesian absolute split between the two. There seems to be a point at which they should fuse, and it should be very apparent to everyone, and it's not. It really isn't. And I think that is one of the basis of horror in general and difficulty in life, that we cannot comprehend how we can die. Why should we die? Why should a healthy mind die just because the body is not healthy? How do you have a man dying a complete physical wreck and his mind is absolutely sharp and clear? There seems to be something wrong with that. Yeah, just talking a lot about the relationship with the body and outside organisms, viruses, illness, and how you, if you get sick, that's kind of that's a win for the virus. So the virus is just doing what is natural to it. And this is his way of being sympathetic to disease, his way of kind of dealing with the eventuality of getting sick and aging and all of that. And I found that like really interesting, especially in conjunction with like the birth of his children, where if you want your body to betray you, you put a little thing in it. Then it grows and you just start to fall apart from what I have seen. And I will actually get more into what I wrote next with abortion during the questions, because that was very interesting to me. But yes, this is when I was like, oh, you're looking up the mating habits of flies. That sounds way more fun than me looking up abortion laws in Canada. And this 464-page chronicle of the AIDS crisis in Canada.
Oof.
I got through, I basically just read up to what we're talking about, the time period we're talking about now, because as you said, that he's like, it wasn't particularly about the AIDS epidemic, but it is about disease in general. And like you said, Amanda, I mean, this was ravaging the gay, bisexual, male community in the United States. Canada just did such a better job of, basically it sounds like they took everything that they saw was going wrong in the U.S. and said, let's not do that.
Oh, you mean like the same thing that happened with COVID?
We really fucked it. It's almost what happens when you have a Republican president who wants to stick his head between his legs and ignore everything. Yeah. No.
Because he didn't see queer people as human beings. He saw them as disposable commodities.
So Ida Lupino, the actress, director, had been friends with Reagan back in the day. When he became president as a Republican and, basically switched all of his party stances for that, she sent him a letter saying she would never speak to him again. If he saw her in public, she was not going to say hi. Don't even bother. She renounced him as a friend and was just like, I no longer know you. You are dead to me. And
Good for her.
Kept to that.
Queen. Absolute queen. Yeah, they were in this chronology. So it was HIV and AIDS in Toronto, specifically, because that is also where Cronenberg is from and living and working for the most part. So HIV and AIDS in Toronto, a selected annotated chronology, 1981 to 1990 by Donald W. McLeod.
McLeod?
McLeod.
Oh, that's how that's spelled.
Chief?
Yeah, McLeod. That makes more sense. And they do specifically say that this isn't necessarily like an in-depth history, but it is a chronology of what was being reported at the time, how it was being reported, and kind of milestones that were happening. And there was a lot of effort by medical professionals, and not always, but some journalists, to not panic people like they had done in the United States. This was referenced over and over again. If they published anything with someone's name in it, there was backlash. Like someone who died of AIDS and like called it out, there was backlash against that. The big communities that they were seeing affected at one point, it was like the Haitian community, hemophiliacs, because the blood transfusions,
That makes sense,
and gay and bisexual men. And so they were like, we do not want to stigmatize these communities. And like I said, this was just something, they're like, we don't want to do the kind of false and sensationalist reporting that they have been doing in the United States. One of the big things that didn't happen in Toronto, that did happen in New York and San Francisco, was they didn't close their bathhouses. Ever.
Wow.
And one of the reasons was because they recognized that that was a good space to get information out to this community, to provide things like condoms and pamphlets. They were way more on top of reaching, especially ACT, but they were getting funding, like they were getting government funding. People were pushing for the federal government to do more, but the state and cities, especially Toronto government, like they were giving funding to AIDS organizations to go out into the communities to talk to people about this. There was a lot more knowledge. Canadians knew about AIDS. They said it by October 21st, 1985, they did a survey and 94% of Canadians were aware of AIDS. Rock Hudson doesn't die until 1987, when finally the Reagan administration in the U.S. and starts to finally talk about it and acknowledge that it's happening. May 15th, 1985, Geneva, Switzerland, the World Health Organization announced that there were 11,000 reported cases of AIDS worldwide, of which 222 were in Canada.
That's a pretty small percentage.
It was a much, much smaller percentage. February 1986, Ottawa, Ontario, the LCDC, so that's like their CDC, recorded a total of 479 cases of AIDS in Canada as of the end of January 1986. 40% of those were in Toronto. They were seeing the numbers continuing to double, but again, I think by learning from the mistakes, the horrific, tragic mistakes, they were able to contain the outbreak a lot better. At least at this time, I did at one point read, I think 1998, it exploded, HIV exploded with it, particularly in Vancouver, because of intravenous drug use.
So yeah, here in the States, 1996 was actually kind of it's a weird year because it's both like the height of AIDS-related deaths, but it is also the year that the retroviral cocktail of drugs came out, where AIDS was no longer necessarily a death sentence.
Canada also was testing blood for donations like earlier. They started testing for sperm donors, like sperms, earlier than the United States did. And so with that idea of, at the end of January 86, it was 479. The U.S. saw 21,000 deaths from AIDS in 1987. That is close to the entire community of homosexuals found in Ontario. It was absolutely devastating in the United States.
I say again, fuck
Fuck
Ronald Reagan,
yeah.
and may he rest in piss.
Yeah. There's like no way to really transition from that to be like, and here's the influence it had on our culture. I mean, this movie is iconic. When you talk about body horror, this is one of the first things people think of. This is why I did not want to watch body horror, because I don't like the goop as much. Like you said, there's an opera based on The Fly. Several critics who don't even like horror, Siskel and Ebert, loved this movie.
Oh, yeah. Ebert even said Jeff Goldblum should have been nominated for the Academy Awards.
I love to watch old episodes of Siskel and Ebert, and when they disagree, they get so catty with each other. It is so enjoyable.
You want to know something really, really weird? For some reason, and I have no idea, my dad told me that Ebert was gay. He's not.
No.
He and Siskel fell out because Siskel couldn't accept Ebert coming out as gay, and I looked that up years later.
You
and
can't convince me that Siskel was straight.
Yeah.
I was like...
Siskel was definitely bi.
Yeah, Siskel gives big bi energy.
Yeah, and I think Ebert was one of those guys where he just kind of plays off of the energy of the person he's interacting with. From any interview I've ever seen with him, from watching Siskel and Ebert, he absolutely is feeding off of Siskel's sort of, gay
Swishy.
guy energy.
He's swishy.
Yeah,
In
absolutely.
a good way. I mean, I'm okay. More Amanda lore. Amanda's kind of into Siskel, and yes, I know he's dead, but you cannot convince me that man was straight.
Regardless, because there isn't anything specifically that says either one of them. Well, and Ebert, was married to a woman. Not to say that he wasn't bisexual, but exactly. Doesn't mean they couldn't be bisexual. Just what a wild retelling of history my father made up there to tell me as if it was facts. And as far as I know, none of that happened.
No.
It's very, very, very odd.
Maybe your dad had a dream about that and became convinced it was reality.
It boggles my mind to this day. I'm never going to ask him about it either.
Dad Dreams, this fall on TBS. Very funny.
Sad dad dreams.
We know comedy.
Yeah. This did win an Academy Award, though, for Best Makeup, as it
Well
should
deserved.
have.
Yes.
Be Afraid, Be Very Afraid comes from this movie.
Actually, it comes from the original version of The Fly.
It's the one line that survived.
Is it? Oh, that's so funny. So it is from The Fly.
Yes, but the one from the
50s.
50s. Yeah, with Vincent Price.
It's not that one. However, it comes from The Fly proper. All the
bisexual
flies.
icon Vincent Price.
Vincent Price. Vincent Price.
I can't wait till we cover a Vincent Price movie.
Love him.
Price. I don't know why I found this so funny, but 2021, the horror metalcore band Ice Nine Kills released a song called FLY about this. We're already talking about the Cramps.
Oh, that song's before this movie.
Oh,
Yep.
shit.
That is 1978.
Yep.
Oh, my God. I kept writing this down as 1982, so I don't even... So cut that out. But,
I say buzz, 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 buzz.
yes, 2021, Ice Nine Kills released a song called FLY. And it's about this. And it's not my kind of music, but if it is yours, you will enjoy listening to that.
They have a Terrifier music video, but then they also did a bunch of AI bullshit, and when their fans called them out on it, they doubled down and were dicks about it.
I didn't even know what this was until I looked it up. I'm like, what is Ice Nine Kills?
I don't know,
Why
but
is
in
this
my mind,
bad?
it
I'm not
doesn't.
into it.
It doesn't work. The way those words are strung together, my brain it doesn't make a pattern that my brain likes.
I know it's from a Vonnegut.
I
And
don't
Ice Nine is
like
used
it.
to-
No, it doesn't. I don't like it.
And the music is not for me.
It's like when I go to the eye doctor and I hate the eye test because my brain wants to turn them into words, but it's not words, and I can't sound it out as words.
But this pretty much inspires like so like all body horror that comes after it. Like this is a foundational body horror text. So
Oh yeah, I mean you can see small echoes of this in the substance, which I think does something very different with body horror that I really appreciate, but also has a part where, you know, a character pulls a nail off while looking at a reflective surface, and that was the one part of that movie that almost made me barf. Hear more of my thoughts on that on Tender Subject.
See, for me, it's eye stuff. Anything eye related, that's I get like, no.
So the part in Kill Bill with the eye snatching, understandable.
No, I'd rather watch someone poke themselves in the eye with a knife.
Put the knife in your eye.
Nope.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I just watched something that was like that. It might have been From. I've been just mainlining the TV show From.
I've heard that's really good.
It's really good. It's really good. The girlies didn't
and it's
lie.
Harold Perrineau, right?
Yes.
Who I have loved ever since Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, his performance in that movie is the best performance in that movie.
There's some performances in that movie that I hate, so...
I go him and John Leguizamo were always my favorites.
Yep.
Like, you want a Mercutio. That's how one of my friends says it, just to upset us. Mercutio. She likes to go Mercutio, and we're like, no. I'm so mad at you. This movie had a lot of people who were not necessarily horror fans or...
Well, you know, darling, it's elevated horror.
Critics
will come in and be like,
so
it's actually
woke.
saying something so smart. Because horror, you know, is not that smart a genre.
It's nothing political about this at all.
No, not at all.
Horror has never been political. Never, darling.
Ever. I don't know what you're talking about.
It does seem like this movie has a pretty good cultural imprint that people look upon favorably. So it has a 94% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, has a 7.6 on IMDb, which makes sense, and then a 4 out of 5 or an 8 out of 10 on Letterboxd, which also makes sense. I know, Amanda, you rated it a 4. Caitlin, what did you rate it? 4. Okay.
4, but that was also from my... That was from my last watch. I might still give it a 4, maybe a 4.5.
See, this is a 5 for me. I love this movie, and let's talk a little bit more about it as we dig into the meat, the goo, the inside out baboon in a section we call "Enough is a Myth."
No, I've done enough.
Enough is a myth.
Scary ass monkeys. Every time I look at its teeth, I'm like, it's gonna bite your face. Get out of there.
When it hops into his arms and gives him a hug, though, it's so cute.
Oh, I will point out in the musical, in the opera, he is naked on stage.
Nice. So, wait, you got to see Clive Owen hang dong?
I'm talking about the opera of The Fly.
Oh, sorry, Clive Owen was in M. Butterfly. I got confused. Look, I want to see Clive Owen hang dong.
There was nudity in M. Butterfly. Oh, God, Julian wants to see Clive Owen hang dong, too.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
When he was watching Sin City, he was like, well, there are attractive people in there. And I go, who? He goes, Clive Owen. And I'm like, you said people. That's one person. He goes...
Carla Gugino.
And then he goes, well, the lady that you like from Spy Kids and Hill House is in it.
Brittany Murphy.
No, it was Clive Owen for him. That was the answer. Clive Owen.
You know what? I appreciate Julian very much.
There was nudity. He made us watch the stupid Netflix movie with Harry Connick Jr. because he wanted to see Harry Connick Jr.'s butt, and there was no butt.
Oh.
I do love Harry Connick Jr.,
Yeah,
though.
no, fair, but it was not a good movie, and we did not see his butt.
Ryan saw Daniel Radcliffe in Aquas.
Nice.
When he was able to do that in the U.S.
There was nudity in M. Butterfly. I don't recall Clive Owen hanging dong. No, I was talking about the Fly opera because Jeff Goldblum is, naked when he telepods.
Yes.
But they are very artful about not showing it. You do see his butt, but in the opera, you do see
It's a little harder to cover. Just a really quick other naked theater story. I wasn't there, but I had a teacher in college who told us about taking a group to see Ian McKellen in King Lear, where he gets naked, and had to prep them going, he has a really big penis. Like, he has a really big penis, and we don't want you distracted.
You're saying Gandalf has a big stab.
Yeah. So he warned everyone to just he's gonna it might distract you, and we don't want it to distract you from the performance. So we're just telling you now he has a really big penis.
Kids, don't stare at his dick.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Okay, so anyway.
Yep. Right. Yep. Okay. As we've already touched on, the AIDS crisis was in full force by 1986, and a lot of viewers have read this movie as being a metaphor for AIDS. There's just no way that you can't see that. But Cronenberg has stated it's more a metaphor for anxiety around any sort of degenerative disease. Do you see this movie as a metaphor for the ravages of disease? Is it saying something else? Is there another sort of interpretation that you could see here?
I mean, yeah, the decay of the body is something that happens with cancer. It happens with various forms of illness and disease. But the rapidness with which he begins to decay and change, and the sexual politics of all of it, and especially with the pregnancy aspect.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah, I'll wait, but it absolutely feels so in line with being analogous to the progression of AIDS.
Right. And just because you're not necessarily consciously thinking that's it, if that's what's going on in the world, there's a very good chance it's still influencing you.
Oh my God. Do you know how many songs I wrote in high school that I listen back to now? And I'm like, oh, that song's about my mommy issues that I didn't even know I had. The things that come out of creative people and make it into their art are often subconsciously channeled. And I really think that happened with Cronenberg. I totally understand that it wasn't a conscious thing for him.
Yeah.
It was a more general idea of disease and decay in the human body. But it feels like there is an undeniable connection there.
And I think also the autonomy that you lose over your body when you have a disease, where it betrays you. And as someone who has a body that will constantly betray them, it's like the horrors that come from the inside that you have no control over, whether it is from an organism or genetics or something, a parasite that you don't intend to have inside of you. But even, I guess, if you do, sorry, I'm thinking about pregnancy. That's when I say parasite.
I too.
The thing that's inside of you.
I mean, it literally is a form of parasite. It's a sometimes symbiotic relationship and sometimes not.
Yeah, I guess that was all. That's just how you lose your autonomy when you come into contact with these things. And even if your mind's sharp, your body is betraying you at every goddamn step, at every step that you can or cannot take, depending on how your body is betraying you today.
On another note, other viewers have seen this movie as an allegory for puberty, with the body going through extreme changes on its journey to becoming something new. So kind of looking at it through that lens, do you think Seth's maybe going through a second puberty? What do you think the final form is if the transformation were left to take its own course?
Oh, so we're doing a trans metaphor here then. I mean, look, going through second puberty was fucking rough for me. And I mean, especially on an emotional level. And You know, I am on oral tablet estrogen because when I was trying to do injections, my cycling was fucking me up way too much. It was basically like having my period every week from an emotional standpoint, but it was also deeply affecting me physically. Like, obviously, I do not menstruate. But
no, but
the
you still
hormone
get the
cycle,
soreness, yeah.
Right. You get soreness, you get moodiness, you get, I mean, like I was having issues with blacking out and falling over and various other things. And so I switched to oral tablet estrogen, but I still have a cycle. And like this weekend, it feels like I am PMSing and it's not fucking fun. Anyway, all that aside. I don't know.
You're on the hormones. You are dealing with the same shit that
on the moans.
You get them.
And the way that he is like, I feel so good. I feel really, really good. And I don't necessarily know what like taking testosterone feels like, but I have a feeling that it might
amp you up, right?
Amp you up
estrogen does not amp you
to then just, I mean, but still you are on, you're on a cycle still. You are going up and down, and this is, I love trans men very much when they are first on testosterone and going through the second puberty. I mean, I have had issues with like people trying to like physically fight Brian.
Jeez.
Wait, trans guys trying to fight Brian?
Yeah. Came over and was like, "You're mad at me," and Brian's like, "What?"
Right, it's because if you're not used to that much testosterone in your body,
just like surging.
Yeah, I feel like Brian, a lot of the conversations around transness and especially second puberty stuff is very focused on trans women, and trans guys really go through it too.
Yes.
You know, as someone who experienced quote unquote male puberty starting when I was fucking 8 years old, it is rough.
Right, all puberty sucks, and you're dealing with hormones that you're not used to. So doing it again with new hormones is still going to be the same shit.
Yeah, absolutely. That said, I don't know if I really see that in this.
Right.
At first, he has these new abilities. He's stronger. He can stick to walls. He wants to fuck forever, like he's Sting or something. But those last so briefly.
Oh my God.
And the trade-off is not worth it. And to me, that's what stops it from being any kind of trans metaphor.
And I like steroids, human growth hormone, really is what I kind of feel with this, that does really ramp you up. And you do feel really, really, really good. And like you could run around and jump up walls
or grow into a giant woman and crush your girlfriend's evil dad.
Yes, exactly.
That's
all of these things are possible. I was like, I know. It took me for a second that you said. I was like, wait, giant woman. Oh yes, absolutely. I love that movie, and which was also pretty rampant in the 80s, especially later 80s, 90s.
I mean, this is the same year that Top Gun comes out. Extreme, macho homoeroticization of the military.
Male body, very
I've never seen Top Gun, and I don't want to.
It's deeply homoerotic.
Oh, I mean, look, I've seen pieces of it. You can watch
the volleyball scene and pretty much get what you need to get out of it. I think I watched it when I went through and just started watching action movies. I'm pretty sure that's when that came up.
I mean, I love watching dumb action movies, so I have seen it.
Yes. 100%. Goose. Anyway. So I see very much this as something that but with long-term usage starts to break your body down. You start to disintegrate.
Now we're at the point of why I was looking up the sex lives and mating rituals of flies. Adult flies don't live for a very long time, and their whole existence is basically to procreate. I was looking up, the whole thing about his stamina and how long he lasts, and fly mating sessions last anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours.
That's a long time. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
That
Well, and
was my
especially,
shocked
a
face.
fly's not like warming up their partner and like going down on them or anything. That's literally just straight up
It's just
PIV
penetration.
fucking.
Yeah, it's just penetration.
Oh God, now I'm thinking about a fly penis, and that's really upsetting.
So, 30 minutes to 2 hours. Female flies tend to mate with one other fly, but male flies buzz around fucking a lot. So they just have a hit it and quit it and procreate drive.
Oh, it's like fucking moths. Hate this little bastard.
Your fly mother was a slutbag whore who flashed her shit all over town like she was Sharon Stone or something. And let's face it, Sydney, your fly mother was no Sharon Stone.
Okay, so now that we know this about fly biology
And Sydney's fly mother.
Flyology.
yeah. In the movie, Veronica becomes pregnant with Seth's baby. Of course, we don't know if the insemination happened before he flew or after he flew. So she is rightfully afraid that the baby might be, what, a fly hybrid thing. So understandably, she's terrified. When Seth finds out, he is insistent on her keeping the child. So when knowing this about adult flies and their drive to procreate, does the movie also serve as a story about reproductive autonomy?
So I'm going to step in real quick here and let you all know that at this point, abortion was not completely legal in Canada.
Aha, whereas we'd already had Roe v. Wade, rip.
Yes, so actually there were Canadians who would travel to the United States to get abortions because...
Not anymore.
No, in 1969 or 65, I believe it was 69, they loosened some of the restrictions with abortion that they had. However, it would be criminal. Basically, the woman had to go to like this board of abortions. It's like 3 people would serve on this board and would have to prove that this would be harmful to their health. And that was kind of it. So it really left things up to the doctors. If you had more money, of course, you could go to a legitimate doctor to do this. But a lot of women, especially pre-1969, maybe even after, I'm sure this still happened, but they had to go to non-licensed, non-sterile places that the basic idea was they would pump them full of Lysol.
Jesus fucking Christ.
To induce miscarriage. And so in 1975, there was a doctor who actually came from, he was a Polish immigrant. He had been in Dachau.
Oh, wow.
His Dr. Henry Morgenthaler. In 1975, he challenged the abortion law as unconstitutional. This was dismissed by the Canadian Supreme Court. So this guy was basically like, I'm doing abortions. I don't care about this panel of people. I'm going to still do this. And so he got arrested a few times. A lot of times the charges were dropped against him. And it wasn't until 1988 that he successfully challenged the abortion law for the Canadian Supreme Court and said that it violated Section 7 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Section 7 states that everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of the person and the right not to be deprived thereof except in accordance with the principles of fundamental justice. So Canada now has some of the best non-restrictions on abortion. There's no criminality to it. And thinking that this movie was put out before that ruling with the way, Stannis Baratheon says that where he's like, we don't have to go sneaking around for this. And she's like, no, now get this out of me now. I definitely read this as partially a story about bodily reproductive autonomy, that both of these people have two related but kind of different things going on with them. If you see the disintegration of Dr. Brundle's, it's just such a silly name, Seth Brundle's body while his mind remains sharp, and then you see Gina Davis's character not having like a place to really go necessarily, and then having to tell like the doctor why she would want to do this, and that he would have to agree this wasn't something that would just be provided, and her loss of bodily autonomy through that as well.
Yeah, I think this movie has a lot to say about bodily autonomy, and I think a lot of Cronenberg's work in general does. You look at something like Shivers or Rabid, which is basically the loss of bodily autonomy because of sexual interaction, and what is an unplanned pregnancy but that. You essentially lose bodily autonomy because not only is your body trying to give part of itself to another life form, but you have all of these outside forces telling you, no, you have to carry this to term. You don't have an option. This is not a negotiation. Your body no longer belongs to you. And that's absolutely horrifying. It's a horrifying prospect. And just like any form of bodily autonomy that is attempted to be regulated by any sort of government institution or even society at large, it's all about fear. It is about fear of the other. It is about fear that people will slip out of the cis heteronormative ideals of society. And I think this portrays that really well in two different ways. Before we move on, I just want to share that I came up with a great drag queen persona while we were in this section, and that is Veronica Queef. And
I almost said Queef at the beginning when you said her name.
But your specialty would be body horror drag and transformation.
Oh,
just
amazing.
like a pretty butterfly. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Silence the musical parody reference.
Well, speaking of queef, let's play a game.
Hello. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.
Okay, so I have kind of two things.
Are we doing fuck, marry, kill, fly?
No, we don't have enough characters.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we've got Seth and we've got the Brundlefly.
And David Cronenberg's gynecologist. So speaking of video nasties, Cronenberg had two movies that were part of kind of the lesser, I think it was the dropped 33 portion. So he actually ended up not having to make any cuts. It was released in theaters. However, you could still be brought up on like obscenity charges if you had it or were renting it out or what have you.
Censorship is stupid.
It's so stupid. It is. I will say that documentary that I watched was really interesting as they brought in the censorship issues as well, especially because of the guy from the UK. With all of this, do you know which two movies he had were under these obscene movies?
I am pretty sure that Rabid was one of them.
And we're not including The Fly?
It's not The Fly.
I'm going to go with Shivers. What year was Crash?
Crash is 94
So no.
or 95.
That's too late.
Yeah, I think it's Shivers and Rabid.
Rabid is correct. The other one was Scanners.
Oh, it was Scanners. Which is so interesting to me because Scanners is pretty tame other than like the very beginning and the very end. Yeah.
The scams.
You ever see that part in Scanners where that dude's head blows up?
You ever see that scene in Scanners when that dude's head blew up?
That's so interesting. Because, that one is pretty mild, all things considered.
I mean, unless you're terrified of Michael Ironside, in which case I wouldn't really blame you because he mostly plays terrifying people.
Oh, is that how we feel about him? We're terrified of him? Okay, sure.
Look, I'm not saying Michael Ironside does not have a commanding presence that I find very interesting. But, when your first R-rated movie at 8 years old, or the first R-rated movie that is rated R when you're watching it, is Total Recall, and he is like one of the most terrifying villains you've ever seen up until that point, it kind of makes an impression on you.
Okay.
And then when he showed up on, what was it, the final season of Sequest, and he was like supposed to be the new captain, but he was an asshole, I was just like, is this guy just not capable of playing nice guys?
Like,
no,
why?
I don't think he is.
He can't do it. It's just not in his blood. My other thing that I was going to say, depending on how much time that took, which it wasn't much, was that, just as a side, Gina Davis, what a badass. And they used, Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum, when they, were together at some point where they had, a home somewhere in Seattle, and people always talked about it. I still have no idea where that was. It had no impact on my life whatsoever.
I always forget that they actually dated.
That... And were married. And got married.
Oh, they were married too?
Yes.
Two beautiful people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They didn't have any kids though, right?
No. They both had kids much later.
Mm-hmm.
This was the second movie that they starred in together. Do you know the other two? Well, I should say that they were in together because one of these definitely does not star Gina Davis.
Is she in Vibes?
No. Earth Girls Are Easy. And... Fuck, I should
It's
know this.
not Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
No, she's not in that.
No.
Fuck, I can never remember what the other one is.
She's not in Jurassic Park.
No.
She could have been, though. No, I don't know if that's true or not.
I'm just going to say that she had a one-day role in Vibes.
I love Vibes, by the way. That needs to be on our list.
Earth Girls is easy.
Earth
Sound
Girls
like
is
Squiscard. Earth Girls is easy. Earth Girls Are Easy, correct. The other one, so this is 1985, is the movie that they met on, Transylvania 65000.
Yep. Yeah, I should have known that. Starring our bud Ed Begley Jr.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep. What a
Amanda, have you seen that movie?
No, I have not.
Oh, it's a really fun comedy horror satire type thing. It's intentionally ridiculous. It feels like
Very
it could have
silly.
been a Leslie Nielsen movie.
Oh boy, okay.
Yeah.
It was playing a lot on one of those free weird channels that you get now on TV during the pandemic. And so I just kind of clicked over. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? But I was like, wait, I know all these actors. So those are some fun fly facts. And no fly facts. No facts about flies at all.
I gave you facts about flies.
You had
It's
fly
true.
facts.
Thank you.
Fly facts. Fly.
Pretty fly for a...
For a fly guy?
I still can't believe how many lyrics to that song I know off the top of my head.
Oh, I know the entire song. I also still know every word to All Star by Smash Mouth.
I definitely do too.
And if anyone says anything that even leads into one of those lyrics, I will just go from there. It happened last night.
Wonderful.
Anyway. Well, I'm just going to say this is a Punisher. I mean, it's an incredible movie. Like I said, it's 5 stars for me, but it is a Punisher through and through. It starts and it does not stop until the very end of the movie. It is so expeditious with its pacing, but never in a way that feels rushed. It never feels like it's outpacing itself. It feels like it is telling the story that it wants to tell from beginning to end exactly the way it needs to be laid out. But yeah, it is. I mean, this is a fucked up, upsetting, depressing movie that starts out with 2 of the most beautiful people you've ever seen getting together. They have great chemistry. And this is one of those Cronenberg movies that I look at and I'm like, people really think he doesn't understand how to write characters. People watch his movies and think the characters are like two-dimensional. What the fuck are you talking about?
And it's complicated, and it's saying so much in its very short runtime that, to parse
Great
through.
runtime.
Oh, so good. So good. I was stoked when I was looking up his other movies. I was like, Videodrome's only 88 minutes?
Right?
You know what? He knows how to make a movie not a fucking long slog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the only one of his movies that I've seen that I felt like could be tightened up a little bit is Rabid. But even in that, it's like not much of an issue.
Yeah, it is. It is a Punisher. I'm thinking like I love all the goopy gore. I really love melty body horror.
I love Jeff Goldblum.
Right, but thematically, yeah, that it is saying a lot, and it is dark and it is sad. So yes, Punisher.
Just that haunting image of his disintegrating fly body. In his next evolution step, the monkey to man to fly pipeline. Yeah, that just as he slurches, like I may have just made that up, I'm not sure, but like lurching and slimy, so he just lurches on the floor.
That's a good word. I like it. Slurch.
Thank you.
It's very evocative. Slurch. I might use that in a script one day.
There are some deleted scenes from this that I'm kind of glad didn't make it into the movie. I think there were a couple alternate endings, not really worth getting into, but there was also a scene where when he's first testing, combining things, he puts another baboon and a cat in the pods and combines them, and it does not go well. No, it leaps on him, scratches him, and he beats it to death with a metal pipe. Maeve watched it on YouTube on her phone, and I was like, I shouldn't watch that, right? And she was like, absolutely not. So that's my final thoughts about The Fly.
Oh my God.
Y'all got anything?
Show us the fly penis, you cowards.
Yeah, show us the penis.
Hang that fly dong. And with that, it's time to wrap up with what awaits you next time.
Don't you see? He's got us now. Okay, this is exactly what he wants. We can't go to the police, not now. He's made sure of that. He's just out there and he's watching us and waiting. What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
It's fly dongs. No, just kidding. That brings us to the end of our episode. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey, fellow travelers. If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review wherever you can, because it helps more people find the show and it makes us all tingly inside. You can find us on Instagram at Pleasers and Punishers and on Blue Sky at Pleasers Punishers. You can also email us at pleaserspunisherspodcast@gmail.com. You can find me on Blue Sky and Letterboxd at Everson Poe. You can find my music on Ampwall, Bandcamp, and streaming services as Everson Poe. And you can hear me podcasting on Tender Subject, Slayerfest 98, and my recent appearance, as mentioned, on Nightlight, talking about Censor. Caitlin, where can you be found?
I can be found at Caitlin of the North on Threads and Instagram, Cat of the North on Letterboxd, and just floating around people under the scares. Fuck My Hellmouth Buffy Watch Along on their Patreon. We just covered The Body. It was quite the thing.
Yeah, they just covered that for its 25th anniversary on Slayerfest 98, and Ian also got to interview Mrs. Summers herself for a separate episode, and I have not been able to listen to either one yet because I know they are going to fuck me up. Anyway, Amanda, where can you be found?
I can be found on Blue Sky and Instagram at Amanda Jane Stern. I am Witchy Wanderer on Letterboxd. You can also hear me podcasting on Don't Be Crazy.
Excellent. We were originally supposed to have Kate Terry on this episode, but she is wandering through the desert with her dad right now, which is very fun. But we'll have her back sometime soon. Next week's episode, we'll be starting Multimedia May, so this is going to be found footage and screen life movies, with what I consider one of the earliest found footage films that the first time I watched it when I was in high school, I thought was real. Like, that's how intense and realistic it is. But this is Man Bites Dog. It is French. It is black and white. It was shot on proper film. And oh boy, get ready.
I'm excited because I don't think I've seen any of these movies.
I haven't seen Man Bites Dog. Wait, have I seen anything in Multimedia May? I'm looking. No, I haven't.
One of them I should have seen.
I haven't seen anything in Multimedia May, and then of course I've seen every single Hellraiser movie.
Well, so. yeah. No, Multimedia May was kind of May month.
Though I am a little sad we're doing the new Hellraiser and not the OG.
Well, I did the OG on my previous podcast. I'm trying not to repeat.
No, fair. I'm just
no. But we will cover it because I want to redo on that where I get to talk to people who actually, want to hear what I have to say about it. And I mean, I love Hellraiser 2022. That's why I have an album about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm very excited for Multimedia May. I love all 4 of the movies that we're covering. 4, right? 4?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm excited for y'all to watch them. I apologize if you get mad at me for any of them. Because, most of these are pretty dark and decently scary.
I love that for us.
But until then, do some aftercare, clean your toys, set healthy boundaries, and have you ever heard of insect politics?